Welcome back. Well, the numbers are staggering. Illegal border crossings could hit 100,000 this month alone. They're on track to surpass Obama-era levels for this year. What's more, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen warned lawmakers yesterday that this is a crisis. It's real. It's going to get a lot worse. Possibly 1 million could be hitting the borders this year. Let's bring in California Congressman Tom McClintock. Great to have you on the show, sir.
Good to be on. Thank you.
First of all, before we do anything, I want to get your take on how not everybody is willing to recognize that this is a crisis. Watch.
All of this whole mess is manufactured. It's a manufactured crisis, a non-crisis at the border that's really not fooling anybody.
This is a manufactured crisis.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis.
Well, Congressman, the New York Times and the Washington Post within the past few days says it is a crisis. Your take?
Well, these leftist Democrats aren't stupid and they aren't blind. They know exactly what's going on. It's pretty clear to me that they want open borders. They view an uneducated, impoverished, and dependent population of migrants entering the United States, susceptible to every socialist promise they make, as something that fits their political ends. I'm convinced that's what's going on. And they know exactly what the numbers, and they know exactly the magnitude of them.
You know, we're a humanitarian country. We do want to take care of people, but you know, that's the tension point, is that we have to have borders, right, sir?
Yep, exactly. And it makes a mockery of our asylum laws. Asylum's reserved for those who are singled out for persecution by their own government because they belong to a specific group. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet. Most of them live in countries that are violent and impoverished. That does not entitle every person in them to come to our country. And the irony is this: our borders protect what is unique about our nation. All of the founding principles that have produced our prosperity. That makes us a very attractive place for people around the world to come. The paradox is this: unless you control your borders, you end up losing all of the unique principles that produce the prosperity that make our country attractive in the first place. Countries that either cannot or will not enforce our borders simply aren't around very long.
Congressman, California is one of 16 states now suing to protect the pot of federal money that they get from the Pentagon for things like the National Guard. More than $6 billion combined here. Do you agree with this lawsuit? Your home state is suing.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is we spend enormous amounts of money securing the borders of Pakistan, Afghanistan, Egypt, Lebanon, but these same leftists aren't willing to spend any money to defend our own border. And again, I think there's a reason for it. They don't want our own border defended.
What do you think of the vote next week? How do you think it's going to turn out on the president's emergency declaration?
Oh, I can't read minds and I can't tell fortunes. I do firmly believe the president is absolutely within his legal authority to declare an emergency. I mean, we've got 58 emergencies that have been declared since 1976, including for civil unrest in Sierra Leone and Burma. Well, I would think the defense of our southern border certainly, not to make a pun, but trumps those crises. So,
okay, I want to jump in here because the 76 law says that Congress can revisit this emergency declaration every 6 months. So
correct.
We could see the Democrats and, you know, Republicans on the fence revisiting this every 6 months.
Well, so what? The president will be there to veto it,
okay,
and as long as that happens, we will be able to proceed with construction.
Could go to the Supreme Court, though. Great to see you, Congressman. Come back soon.